Welcome back to Black News Tonight on this Friday night. Thanks for being with us. The fight to bring justice for Julius Jones achieved a major victory yesterday as Oklahoma's Governor Kevin Stitt granted him clemency just hours before the state had scheduled to carry out his execution. Yes, Julius Jones is alive, and our hearts go out to him, his family, and all those who've been speaking up to see his life spared. But the fight isn't over yet. Jones has been on death row for nearly 20 years, but with just a few hours to go, had his sentence commuted to life in prison without the possibility of parole. And that could mean life behind bars for a murder that he says he did not commit. Well, his supporters continue to point to the blatant racism seen at his trial, and they still maintain that there is compelling evidence for his innocence. Well, here now to discuss the latest is Reverend Cece Jones-Davis, the director of the Justice for Julius campaign. She returns to BNT after joining us early on the show back in August. Reverend Cece, welcome back.
Thank you so much for having me.
First and foremost, how is Julius right now? How are he, his family members, and you and the community that have been fighting so hard to see this day?
Yeah, we are exhausted. Julius is relieved to be breathing today. His family, especially his poor mother, is so grateful that the state of Oklahoma did not take his life at 4 p.m. Central Time yesterday. And so, we are all deeply grateful. However, this is not what Julius deserved. The Pardon and Parole Board has voted twice, once in September, once in November, that Julius has enough, at least doubt in his case, that his sentence should be life with the possibility of parole. The fact that the governor of Oklahoma did not take that recommendation either time, the fact that he waited until 3 hours before the scheduled execution, the fact that he allowed Mama Jones and Antoinette and the father and the brother to have a last visit with Julius the day before. It's just really cruel. It's really cruel what has happened in Oklahoma in the last few days. And so we're grateful that Julius is alive, but we have a lot of work to do.
Oh yeah, I mean, millions of people were hanging on the edge there to see what would happen.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering, what do you think led the governor of Oklahoma to finally grant clemency?
I don't know what the one thing was that kind of made the difference. I'll probably never know that. But I tell you what, the voices that were raised from around the world, I had never seen anything like that before. I'm sure the governor of Oklahoma has never seen anything like that before. The amount of phone calls and emails and text messages that he received, letters from international organizations and different countries. I mean, I don't think that he anticipated that people would care about Julius to this degree. And, he probably felt a lot of pressure.
Yeah, and I mean, we even saw celebrities like Kim Kardashian tweeting about it. I mean, he's definitely touched a lot of people. And you, in fact, you've been part of this massive grassroots effort with over 6.5 million signed petitions that you've been talking about. You even had a Julius Jones week. So, Reverend, is there anything from all this organizing that stands out to you? Is there anyone you'd like to acknowledge? Anything that you think really pushed it to the top?
I mean, there's honestly too many people to acknowledge. I think one of the things that I've learned so much, but one of the things is that it really takes a human chain to save a Black man in America who is caught up in the grips of the criminal justice system. It takes powerful people. It takes the least of these. It takes rich folks, poor folks, Black people, white people. It takes conservatives and liberals. It takes everybody to save a Black man in the United States. And that's what we saw with Julius Jones. We saw people like Kim Kardashian. We saw folks who, in the coalition whose names are not recognizable, but who worked every day, day in and day out. And what we really saw was that the power of people is much stronger than the power of systems.
Reverend, that is so deep the way you put that. I mean, millions of people to save one black man. I mean, that's overwhelming. But
True.
what is next in the Justice for Julius Jones campaign? Do you think he's going to get a new trial?
If Oklahoma has his way, he won't get a new trial. But, you know, listen, we have seen mountains move on behalf of Julius Jones, and it's because we believe in a God who is powerful and strong. And so we're going to keep on keeping on. I don't know exactly what the plan is tonight. I don't know. But we're going to be regrouping really soon to figure out the pathway forward.
And what do you think about the death penalty in this country? Do you think we're any closer to abolishing the death penalty?
I think we are closer. I mean, when you consider Virginia, being the seat of the Confederacy, the fact that they abolished the death penalty recently, there that gives us a whole lot of hope. Oklahoma is a tough place because the citizens of Oklahoma had the death penalty written into their state constitution in 2016. It's a very pro-death penalty state. But I think what Julius Jones has done for Oklahomans and people around this country is to really shine a light on this practice, as sick, as barbaric, as antiquated, as racist. And I am hoping that some really good seeds have been sown, not just in Oklahoma, but across the country where the death penalty is still in practice. We just need to get rid of it. We just need to get rid of it. This is not who we should be.
Well, you know what? You certainly helped shine a light on this. Reverend, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Best of luck with the campaign to set Julius free.
Thank
And of
you.
course, please give him, his family, our regards here from Black News Tonight. And to learn more about the campaign and get involved, check out their website, justiceforjuliusjones.com.